I wanted to do a quick video tutorial here this morning, just on setting power levels to make things a little easier to understand. So you've got your Smart SDR software and you got Power Genius XL up here at the top and your normal power levels here for the radio power output power. And the way you set your your final output power through the amplifier is by adjusting the drive levels going into it. So you adjust the levels out of the actual flex radio here until this one outputs the power that you want. So here we're at 14,200, and a quick way to just know, okay, how much drive is going to take to reach my final power level is to just hit the tune button, which just all that does is just transmits a carrier, just like CW. You know, if you were, da 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 da. This just outputs a steady carrier instead of the actual dits and das. So you hit the tune button. You can see the radio's putting out about 20 watts, which here it says it's set for 18 on tune. It's putting out about 500 watts, and the Power Genius XL utility, which you cannot use remotely, though I just requested that you could, says it's outputting about 500 and some odd watts. But if you just grab this tune power and drag it up until you get close to that 1.5 kilowatt mark, you know, okay, it's going to take about 56 watts of drive power to get me my final 1.5 kilowatts out. So you turn the tune off, you can drag it back down, but now you know that your RF power, the actual power coming out of the radio, you can drag up to that, just probably shy of where you just found that, and then transmit accordingly. And you should be, even though this here won't reflect that final output power because they don't use peak power, they use some other weird algorithm or something, though I'm putting in a feature request for that as well to give us a peak meter like this yellow here in your microphone levels. Why shouldn't they give us that as well up here? So anyhow, if you hit Mox, testing, kilo 0, kilo Bravo, kilo 0, kilo Bravo, you'll see down here, you'll see down here on the power meter that it peaked up about 1,300 and some odd watts, even though this didn't show anywhere close to that. So even though, you can't use this app yet remotely, you can be confident that if you adjust your output power via this tune power slider while using the tune button, that you will be outputting about the legal limit. Now, I just updated this all to the latest firmware and software, so that I was hoping that maybe they'd already included the remote capabilities. And apparently there's a bug. And so for some reason, on 40 meters, if I go to say 7150, and I hit the tune, like here we're only set to 4 watts. So we tune, we're putting out 116 watts total, but if I jack this up, the SWR is only about 1.6 to 1. But if I jack this up, I get a high SWR reading. And I'm not quite sure, that's one of the bugs that they say came out in this newest firmware, is that you might have SWR problems. And so what I need to do is just call them, and I think they can remote in and readjust my amplifier. But until that's done, there's going to be a little bit of funkiness here. Like if I try to output 17 watts from the radio into the Power Genius, it just trips high SWR. And that shouldn't be the case at an SWR of 1.6 to 1 or whatever it is. So that's going to be pretty unpredictable on 40 meters. I think we're going to try, let's just try 80 real quick. Make sure we're clear here. Doesn't look like it's going to be a problem on 80. 40, unfortunately, is a pretty fun band, but hopefully they can get in there today and adjust our levels. Looks like, and it's different. Almost every time I go to use this, it's different what drive levels it takes. So it's good to check before you go transmitting what drive levels it takes to get to 1.5 kilowatt. Because here you can see that only took 44 watts or so to get us there. And my drive level from last time took almost 60. So if we come back down here, set it to 44. This is at 44. Testing, kilo 0, kilo Bravo, kilo 0, kilo Bravo. You can see we peaked there around 1,250 watts or so. So until you get this software here, until they get it to work remotely, if they ever do, I don't know. This is a good way to do it. And oftentimes I don't even use this anyhow. I just adjust via tune to get my max power output, and then And it might even be different in different areas of the band. So right now we're at 3600, but if we go to 3950, 75 meter portion of the band, and we drop that 44, oh, we got a higher SWR. So who knows what's going on with this? I'm not quite sure. I mean, my SWR is worse than the portion of the band. It's not terrible. Just try it out. Oh, so not too bad. 1350 watts with that 44 watts output drive. But at 3550, you get 1400 some odd watts, so about an extra 100 watts or so. So who knows? But for now, that's a pretty good way to adjust your drive levels. So if you're on 15 meters, we're at tune power 31. I mean, it's just 31 watts to get us to that 1.5 kilowatt mark. So you take your thing and testing, kilowatt 0, kilowatt bravo, kilo 0, kilo bravo, testing. You can see we're up in the 1300 and some odd watt range, which the difference between 1300 and 1500 watts is, I don't know, it's got to be less than 1 dB. You know, pretty marginal difference there in actual readability for DX, unless they're just really down in the noise. Not going to be a whole lot of difference there between that, you know. So, excuse me, that is a good way to set your drive levels.